It weighs less than a grain of rice.
Yeah.
Yet it quietly changed the evolution of 2 continents. But one bird evolved to search for what almost no other animal could see. One tiny parasite, one perfect meal. Millions more are already waiting. Every blade of grass becomes an ambush. The buffalo never realizes it just picked up another passenger. Hidden beneath the fur, the real battle quietly begins. One ecosystem created constant opportunity. One ecosystem created constant opportunity. One tick rarely matters. Thousands quietly change an entire ecosystem. Every successful search saves energy. Every missed parasite feeds another generation. The next generation begins. Almost completely unseen, millions of new parasites appear every season. They don't chase their hosts. They simply wait. The buffalo never sees the attack. The parasite never misses the opportunity. The safest place in the savanna is hidden inside the fur. The same parasite has a different effect on the left in the savanna compared to the prairie on the right. But why did this pressure reshape Africa and not North America?
One tick survives.
And soon there will be thousands more. Every parasite removed means one less future generation. North America tells a different story. The opportunity appears far less often. Sometimes no bird ever finds it, with a somber and isolated tone. A faint, distant wind blows throughout the scene. The magpie searches the ground, not the animal.
Different continents.
Different parasite pressure. Each bird evolved toward the easiest meal. Evolution rarely wastes energy. The parasite stayed the same. Could one tiny parasite really reshape the destiny of an entire continent? In Africa, this hidden world never sleeps. Every step creates another opportunity. The bird isn't hunting the buffalo. It's hunting an invisible ecosystem. North America offers fewer chances to encounter these animals in such high densities. North America offers fewer chances to encounter these animals in such high densities. Ground insects are easier. Evolution usually follows the easier meal. The parasite shaped 2 very different worlds. The birds simply adapted to each one. The tick barely changed.
Everything around it did.
In Africa, year-round heat and moisture kept them thriving.
In North America,
Nature rarely invents only one solution. But what would happen if ticks disappeared tomorrow? This relationship wasn't built in a single generation. It was shaped over millions of years. Every successful hunt rewarded the bird. Every removed parasite rewarded the buffalo. North America rarely created the same pressure. A simpler meal was always available. So evolution followed the simpler path. Even bears solved the problem alone, without ever needing a parasite-hunting bird. The difference wasn't the birds, it was the environment that shaped them. The parasite looked almost identical. The ecosystem did not. Nature solved the same challenge. A seamless blend of savanna ambience with bird calls, transitioning into prairie winds and... But what if this tiny parasite had never existed at all? Every sunrise begins the same silent hunt. Not for the buffalo, but for what hides inside its fur.
Finding one parasite
Requires searching through thousands of hairs. One successful bite. Across the ocean, the story unfolds very differently. The food is already on the ground. There is no reason to climb onto the animal. One continent evolved cooperation. The other evolved independence. The parasite remained almost unchanged.
The world around it did not.
Different landscapes. Could removing one tiny parasite change the future of an entire ecosystem?
The hunt never really ends.
Another parasite is always waiting.
For the tick.
Remaining invisible means survival. For the bird. Across North America. Many ticks complete their journey unnoticed. The magpie never evolved into a parasite hunter. It didn't have to. Both continents solved the same problem. They just solved it differently. One parasite becomes breakfast. The other survives another day. Evolution never searches for perfection. And all of it began with something almost too small to see. By now, the pattern is unmistakable. The smallest creature controls the biggest relationship.
No bird catches every tick.
But every successful search changes the odds. In North America, the majestic American bison traverses these flowering meadows. The bear depends on strength, not on a feathered partner. The moose lets the water solve part of the problem. Another completely different solution. Both birds became specialists, just in completely different worlds. One parasite disappears. One survives to reproduce. Every continent wrote its own answer. And the greatest architect of this story. Most of this world remains completely invisible, until one bird learns exactly where to look. One parasite disappears. The search continues without pause. Across an entire continent. The bird follows the giant,
The bird.
but never the parasite. One species evolved upward, the other stayed grounded. This partnership survived because it never stopped being useful.
Generation after generation.
North America reached a different answer, and that answer worked just as well. Different animals. Could the smallest life on Earth truly reshape the fate of giants? After millions of years, this tiny battle still continues every single day. The bird was never hunting giants. It was always hunting something almost invisible, across another continent. Every species found its own answer. None needed the same solution. Evolution never promises identical outcomes, only successful ones. Different birds, different worlds. One evolutionary story. History often remembers the giants, but evolution is often written by the smallest lives on Earth.